Hi everyone, it's Tamara again, here with Tamara with OCD. I thought I would talk about something that is probably, if I would rate the levels of things that, if I rated the levels of things that bother me the most with my OCD, I would probably rate this as number 1. It's actually also the scariest for me to talk about, so besides the people that know me really well, people probably don't know that it's something that affects me because I don't like to talk about it, like, at all. But one of the things that personally affects me is medical OCD, sort of. I probably, I would say, think that I'm dying of something. I would say anywhere from 0 to 3 times a day. Just, it comes from a thought. Maybe it comes from something somebody says, something that pops up on my phone on a news feed, which I try to avoid at all costs. But whatever it is, like today, I started thinking about my annual doctor's appointment coming up. And even though I have no reason to be nervous about it or even, really thinking about it, but just the idea that it's coming up and there's always potential for something, to be wrong, I started ruminating about it. And I was at my desk at work and actually started to have like kind of a panic attack about it and started to kind of like breathe really fast and really heavy. And I was able to calm myself down and reason with myself and actually give myself some factual information that made me feel better about it. And that's one of the reasons why I've promised several of my doctors that I would, begin this journey, which I, began 5 years ago for this ailment, if you will, because I'm at the doctor a lot. I have my kids at the doctor a lot, my husband at the doctor a lot. My kids are to the point where if something is bothering them and I see it or they say it and I notice it, they scream right away, "I'm fine, I don't need to go to the doctor, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine." Because they know that I'll probably send them to the doctor for it. So the pediatrician also knows that that's something that I struggle with, so he will all of my doctors are really good about being kind of patient with me and not making me feel ridiculous for worrying about something that's really so irrational. If somebody's like, falls asleep at an odd time, if one of my kids falls asleep at an odd time during the day when they normally wouldn't fall asleep, or because my kids are too old to nap during the day, but if one of them fell asleep, I would probably call the doctor the next day and make an appointment for something for them and make sure that they're okay. And I do that a lot. My kids are at the doctor a lot. I try and make it as light as I can, but nevertheless, that's something that they deal with as a result of something that I struggle with. So it affects everybody. My husband as well. He probably was at the doctor more in the first year that we met than he was in the past 10 years before we met. Some of it was warranted because he, hadn't been really taking care of himself like a lot of men or people do. But now he goes regularly, and he also knows not to say something if there's like a little thing, because I'll make him go also. Because if there's something that comes up with me or my kids or my husband that I can't get a factual answer to, then I will ruminate about it, and I will not be able to function until I get an answer that people are okay. And it's a daily struggle. It's not a once in a while thing. I probably, like I said, 0 to 3 times a day. Maybe it'll happen 0 for like 2 days, and then one day it'll happen like 3 times throughout the day for different reasons. And it's really scary. I go from 0 to 60. If there's something like, like I said, one of my kids falls asleep at a weird time, for sure they're dying of something. There's no middle ground. That's what I automatically think. And so obviously, if you thought that realistically, anybody, you would take your kids to the doctor immediately. And when I get a clearance, the other side of that from a doctor, it's like a euphoric feeling. Like, like somebody just gave me a new lease on life. So that feeling is really great, but it only lasts until the next thing comes up, which is unfortunately probably not too long after that. So I have a lot of really patient people in my life, the people that know me really well and know that that's something that I struggle with daily. My husband, my siblings, and like one or two of my very close friends, but that's it. Know that that's something that I struggle with. And my kids, obviously, they, my older son who's 20 will say to me, Mom, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. And my little ones too. So unfortunately, that's something that I've kind of put on them, which I hate and is really sad because I don't want them to worry like I worry. But at the same time, I struggle not getting things checked out because, like I said, there's no middle ground. I think there's something terrible every time. So that was, something that came up today, and I wanted to talk about it because it's just such a huge thing. It's something that's every day. It's so scary and so exhausting to have those kinds of thoughts and feelings, and sometimes have to go to bed with them because you can't get to the doctor till the next day, or if it's, God forbid, it's a Friday and you can't go till Monday. That happens a lot. So a lot of times we'll end up in the urgent care, the immediate care, which I'm embarrassed to even talk about this because it's absolutely true, and it happens even in the emergency room, with things that really could be handled at the doctor's office if you could wait. So I know that other people struggle with this. I've heard of other people struggling with it, but I've never heard anybody talk about it. I've never had a dialogue with anybody else that struggles with it. But I know that it's out there. It's a terrible thing. It's really suffocating and paralyzing because it just scares you, literally, to death. So anyway, I wanted to put that out there. It's just one of the many things that goes along with OCD, just the thoughts that take over your mind, body, everything, and just, like I said, it's like a prison. You can't break free. So anyway, I was able to talk myself down from that today, so that was a positive, and I did it before, the day's up, so I don't have to go to bed with it. Anyway, so that's all for today, and I will check in soon. Thanks.